Hey everybody, it's your guy, Josh G, and I have the pleasure today of sitting with Sion Brinn, and he is the head coach of swimming and diving, men and women's, here at Indian River State College. And one thing I do know about this program, you guys are winners.
Rumor has it.
Yeah, rumor has it.
We've done pretty good over the last
100 wins, championships.
Yeah.
Between men's and women's. Could you tell us more about this winning culture here that you have?
It's obviously it's a tradition. It's been going on forever, and my job really just to try to keep it going. I was lucky enough to be here on the 18th and 19th championship team as an athlete, and then I've come back full circle, and I've been with it for the last 13 years. So
awesome. Well, let's talk about that journey. Yeah. So you were a student here and a student athlete,
yes,
and a champion. You went back into the world and came full circle back here. So please tell us about your journey. Why did you come here to IRSC originally? And then tell us the journey on how you came back, and let's close that loop.
I'll give you the sort of summarized
version. Tour, yes.
Summarized version. My sister came here. She was a year ahead of me, so she came here, and I was a bit of a guy that needed some guidance.
Okay.
High school. So
yep, we all are.
She did fairly well and pushed the coach to try and give me a chance. So I walked on. I walked on my first year or so, and then earned my stripes, as I will say, and managed to get a scholarship. And my dad basically told me those rules.
Earned, not given.
Yeah, make sure you figure out what you're doing, because this is the one-way ticket to college right now. Anyways, I did that and I did really well, and went on to the 4-year school stuff, and then in the pro swimming world as well. Then I managed to find a job coaching at a college up in Ohio called Wright State University.
Okay.
Yep. I was there for 13 years.
Oh, wow.
The opportunity to come back down here presented itself with a little bit of harassment from the AD who kept trying. And yeah, we took the job, and I've been here for 13 years now.
That's amazing. So with that, you were able to be a part of the winning culture here, went out into the real world. You were working at another college. What was the attractor to come back? Is this because your roots or your heart was here? Why did you come back to Florida coming out of Ohio besides the weather?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Weather was one of them. My wife and I, we had 2 kids. We had a third on the way. It was just timing. We knew the job had come up. We were in jobs that we were very happy with, but it was 10 years of being in that one. It was, what do we want to do? And we just kind of took a chance and said, why not? Let's do it. And I obviously wanted a job like this, but it was all timing at the right time. That's kind of why we took a chance when we came down.
That's
been there a while,
awesome.
haven't I? Yeah.
I love that. So something unique is that you're the head coach of both the men's and the women's. And obviously the way you're going to coach a group of young men is going to be different than the way you coach a group of young women, but at the head is you as well. So how are you able to effectively coach young men and young women both on and off the pool?
Really, when it comes down to the athletic side of things, both genders will have their pros and cons, but really we do the same. Everybody trains the same. The attitudes towards both are the same. There are going to be obvious differences in the way you have to treat certain things, but at the end of the day, they're actually just one big team. There might be 2 genders, but they're just one big team.
And I love that. So at that point, gender really is a non-factor, because a lot of times it's made to be a factor. But in this scenario is coaching, it's the basics, it's swim, right?
Same.
So not really one advantage either way. It's like who's going to put in the work, the same drills, the same training, because that's what makes a champion.
Yeah,
it's not like we have to dilute it or add extra between men and women's. Champion behaviors, champion training is the same regardless of gender or who it is.
Yeah. And both teams put out the work, and sometimes one team will push the other team to be better. Yeah.
Because the men have 52 championships.
That's correct, yeah.
And the women 48. So they're neck and neck. So obviously in competition with each other, see who can rack the most championships.
I'm not 100% sure, because this is back in the 70s, but I want to say the women lost 4 in a row, and I think it was just the first 4 years that they didn't win. After that, it's been ever since.
It's been ever since, which is utterly amazing. So you're coming in, right, leaving Ohio, coming back home, right, to where you've played or swam, won championships, and you come back to that same winning culture. That's a lot of pressure. It's not like the program's a dumpster fire and even if you stink at your job, you can usually go up from there. But they're already at the pinnacle, the paramount of the sport. How did you coming in maintain that and build on that?
You talk about the pressure. The interesting thing is it's the desire to not lose. That's
Let's say that again.
that's
It's
the
not
point.
pressure.
It's-
It's the desire not to lose.
not to be the one that loses, not to be the guy that loses, but also I have it in me is that I want to win, so don't lose kind of thing. And that's just been like that ever since I got here, ever since before I was here. You have a tradition of winning and you want to keep going because it's a hell of a tradition, actually.
Absolutely. And you don't want to let down your teammates because you have your specific events that you're in. If you don't win that event, then you're probably negatively affecting the team at that point. So everybody, every player, every swimmer needs to have that winning mentality that they're going in, not only I'm going to win, I'm not going to lose, but I'm going to support my teammates and give it my all. So how do you breed that culture?
Really, when it comes to training, I like a competitive environment. You're going to have your days where some swimmers are not going to be feeling it. They're going to be swimming poorly. And you just have to, if you know you're just not going to get any out of them, let it be. But if you feel like they just need a little laugh in their system, you start creating a little competitive trash talk because sometimes that's just fun. And so you're almost hiding the work by making it more enjoyable amongst teammates, between the coaches and the athletes, in the training, the actual training that you're doing. Just make it so that they're getting the work in, they're enjoying it, and they want to win. So take away the hard part and make it competitive and fun.
Gotcha. And what kind of things do you do to make it fun? Do they do games in the pool or stuff like that? How do you bring the fun to it? Because at a championship level, and you're usually playing at a high level, a lot of times the fun gets sucked out of it, right? It becomes more of a task of win, 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 and you get lost in that sauce where you lose your heart or your passion for it. How do you bring that fun in while still keeping the high bar set of this is a winning culture here, but we're going to have fun while doing it, incorporate the fun? How do you find the ability to do that? Because I know a lot of championship programs, regardless of the sport, have trouble keeping the fun.
Yeah, I told you earlier, I'm not a rah-rah, ray-ray kind of guy, and we don't play a lot of games in practice, but I think the sense of accomplishment when you have of achieving something makes it fun. And so if you are able to coach the athletes to do something where there is a sense of accomplishment, then it can make it fun. And by creating a competitive environment, something challenging, something that's, they suddenly realize that, oh, I could do that. Whereas before they were thinking maybe impossible. I'm too tired. I didn't sleep last night. Whatever it is, create an environment where you feel like you've achieved something. It doesn't happen all the time, but if you suddenly get one person, another person joins in, success is contagious sometimes.
It's a ripple effect. It's like a ripple in a pool, right?
So unfortunately, sometimes when it's bad, you just got to find one or two people to start making it good, and then it creates a more happy environment.
That's awesome. So you have a high bar set here, champions, winning culture while having fun. As far as recruiting, getting those student athletes here, are they all coming from the state of Florida? With a huge win streak like that, I'm sure it's a attractor to people out of state as well. So where do recruits come from? Where do your student athletes come from?
Recruits come from almost everywhere, right? We have a lot from Florida. Then we venture out of state, and it doesn't matter if it's bordering states or across the country. And then we have internationals as well. And a lot has to do with tradition. If you come from a certain club or an area and you go, there's a chance that you left some friends behind. Down the road, they're going to start talking and they're going to want to try and come. So it's almost I guess in a way, a tradition of recruiting from a similar area. We have a lot of South Africans come on, and that's just because they heard about the swimmer that came before them.
They tell their friends, exactly, the younger generation.
And the same thing happens on the club teams around, whether it be in the Orlando area, the Miami area, Tampa, or even up in the Panhandle region. And then out of states, it's the same deal. And then, of course, a lot of alumni from here have moved on to be coaches, or at least know somebody, or tell their kids' coaches about this program, and it's word of mouth. And obviously we also look at results and we try to target some kids, but there's a lot of schools out there with swimming and diving programs, and we're a special program. It's close to home for a lot of these kids, so we try to just keep local first and then we venture out.
That's awesome. So pretty much the history that you have, the relationships that you have, but also that reputation of how things are ran here.
Relationships and reputation go
hand in hand.
Yeah.
And is that all part of that winning formula?
I would think it contributes to it, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What else do you think contributes to having a winning mindset or a winning formula? Because you guys are consistently doing that. And everybody says that they want to be a winner or I want to win. But a lot of times they don't want to put in the work or make the sacrifices necessary to be a winner. What do you see as like part of that iron mindset that you need to have as a student athlete to be a champion?
I hope I answer this a little bit the right way, but swimming training and competition is part of the last thing you should be worried about. If you have like things all set outside of the pool, then the swimming becomes a little bit easier. So academics is a big one. So most of my struggles, honestly, and it's not a struggle, but most of my focus is on the athletic, outside of the athletics part of it.
Correct, academia.
Socially, academics, health, nutrition, that kind of stuff. I'm not an expert in any of those fields, but I just keep telling the team, hey, if you can make everything outside of the pool controllable and set stuff in the pool becomes easier.
And I agree that I say the same thing in business. If your home life is a mess, your business is going to be a mess. It's going to directly affect it. And if your business is a mess, it's going to affect your home life. So you have everything squared away in the pool. So that way it doesn't affect their academics, them socially, but you help your student athletes with academics, with it socially. So not only are you coaching them in the pool, you're coaching them outside of the pool as well?
I'm doing my best. I my own kids are the same age almost as these guys here. What they sometimes realize, because I'll tell it to them, is I'm their guardian. I'm trying to guide them in certain areas. It's not
right. You're responsible for them.
I'm not going to be perfect, but I do try to give them tips, life tips, or teach them what makes things a little bit easier outside of the pool, or guide them in certain ways, tell them their mistakes, tell them about the future. Hey, these decisions you're making now are going to affect you 6 months from now when it comes to recruiting or with the exams you got coming up, or trying to move on from here in the working world. So yeah, it's being a coach with these guys. They're only 18 and 19 years old, most of them. It's a full circle of trying to help them athletically and academically and socially and in their world.
Absolutely. And one thing that I learned by interviewing Ali Mashad, the head of USA Diving, is that there's a lot of opportunities in swimming and diving. And for me, who's a little bit naive to that, I had no idea the opportunities. So how are you preparing your kids for the opportunities for the next level, whether it be if they're just entering the workforce, or maybe going on to a D1 school, or maybe getting in on the pro swimming and diving circuit? How are you preparing each one of these kids for individually which path they're going to go on?
That kind of comes after my job is done with them. My main focus with them is to make sure that they're being successful in the school and on our team. Everything else comes along with it. I'll know if a kid is really talented, really good, and they have a chance to move on, and I'll guide them personally, say, hey, you need to think about
a bigger future.
Yeah, swimming beyond here. But then some of them will tell me, hey, I have no intention on going on in my AA and I'm going to go into the workforce. Hey, good job.
Good.
And so I don't really try to convince people to go one direction or the other.
Just as a guide saying, hey, you're darn good.
Certainly give them a little tip here and there, and maybe even present the ideas to them, which is good. And we'll call other coaches as well who are looking for, we get emails all the time from four-year schools saying, hey, you got anybody worth looking at? And yeah, there you go. Here's a couple names. Give me a call if you want to talk to them.
That's amazing. So how can us as the community come out and support your teams?
Just promotion of the sport, promotion of the college really is probably the easiest thing to do. We've been here for a while, but come out to our events and cheer us on and take an involvement in River. That's a great place.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is we have champions here and a long history of swimming and diving champions here, and come out to the events. What would be like the cost of a family of four to come on out to the events to watch you guys swim?
As far as I know, every event here on campus is free.
Free. That's right, folks. So if you're looking for something to do with your family, bring them on out. The kids will have a blast watching the athletes here perform. And here's the thing, they're performing at a championship level. You're able to show your children what it's like to be a winner. And who knows, they might be able to get their degree for free as well with the scholarship opportunities that are available through various sports here at Indian River State College.
Right, that's right. Or the Promise program as well.
100%. And even if you're not a student athlete, you can hit us up and we'll show you how to be able to get your education here for free as well. Sean, I really appreciate you and your championship and winning mindset, and also pouring back into our youth to make sure that they're champions both in and out of the pool. Good luck this season. We'll see another chip soon.
All righty.